Welcome to an episode of Running from Pixels, a podcast about nothing and everything. I always start with a sigh because these podcasts always turn out to be heavy. And this one in particular is going to be a little heavy. Is have to do with health. Now, a few weeks ago, there was a big old brouhaha about raising money to cover your medical bills and how that was a big old scandal and such. I believe that it's a scandal that we have to actually ask people for money to cover our medical bills. It should all be free. Free. Like every other industrialized, civilized country on earth. We should be able to get our medical needs met through our taxes. But instead, we use our taxes to give to corporations. I don't want to get into all that because I can go on forever. But I understand when people have to ask to cover for their medical bills because I've had to struggle with medical bills ever since I was, I'm going to say like 17. And I don't even blame being unhealthy or having a disease for any troubles or anything that or any obstacles that my life might have experienced. Like like Dutch Newman says, "Don't cry for me, Argentina." But the thing that infuriates me is the toll the medical costs took on my life and will continue to take on my life. Not having the money to pay for all my medical needs when I need them most, having to put everything on credit cards, having to work jobs that were killing my soul. Well, let me just, it's just saying it was not fair that anybody who has medical issues have to put a financial struggle on top of their medical needs and issues. It's just backwards. But the reason why I'm ranting about this today is because I've been having headaches for the last week, specifically behind my right head. And I had them last month as well for a bit, and I kind of slowed down making YouTube videos because I do this on my spare time, and on my spare time I was having these headaches, so I was like, fuck, I can't do shit, Um, but they went away for a couple of weeks, and I felt wonderful. Oh, it was like great, back to normal. Maybe it was just stress. Maybe it was just, one of those things. Maybe I'm not drinking enough water. And that's what I thought because these headaches are back. My veins are popping out of my head. I'm like, shit, am I dehydrated? Maybe. So I started taking all these Pedialyte and water and making sure I'm eating, actually eating breakfast and stuff and trying to take care of myself and listen to my body. But I still have to take Tylenol for the pain to go away. Like it just doesn't go away. So obviously is something I don't think it's stress. I was hoping it was stress, like a tension headache going on, but I don't think it's it. For a lot of people, I guess only a few people know, my medical conditions consist of having kidney disease. When I was 14, I was diagnosed with having kidney disease. Pretty much my kidneys were destined to fail, and they did. They failed when I was about, I say 20. I can't remember. My memory's not that great, but I think when I was 20, that's when my kidneys started failing, and I had to go to dialysis. For those of you who do not know what dialysis is, pretty much you get connected to an artificial kidney. It's like some big old machine with a little artificial kidney attached that drains and cleans your blood. So you get a big old, I think it's 16 or 12 gauge needle that goes into your hand. It's like the biggest needles I've ever seen that go into your hand, went into my hand, my right hand, and sucked blood out. And there was another that would go straight into the kidney machine. It would clean it and cycle it and suck out any water and any sodium, any stuff that shouldn't be in my blood, because my kidney isn't able to clean my blood regularly. Or at least when people who have kidney disease or who are on dialysis, their kidneys don't function, so they can't clean their blood. So the machine does it for them. So one big old 16-inch needle coming in, and then another one coming out, another one going in after your blood has been cleansed. Now you do this dialysis 3 times a week for about 3 hours. The whole procedure may take 4 hours when you gotta, wait, get hooked up, get weighed. And in the end of the treatment is kind of when it gets a little bit more. Well, in the beginning, I mean, it's dangerous. It is. In the beginning and in the end, when they're in the beginning when they're putting in the needles, if they miss your it's actually called the fistula. I know I'm over the place, guys, but it's eventually a vein and an artery that they sew together to make it like a super vein, so they can put these needles in. Because if they try to do that in your regular vein, it would rupture the vein because it's just the same size. So they need like a super vein so they can put these needles in. And if they happen to miss that vein when they're, trying to hook you up, your arm can kind of blow up. Like all the liquid won't be going to where it should be going, and your arm can blow up. Not blow up like rupture. I'm sure maybe it will, but I mean, it'll start to like feel like get all fat and shit, and you gotta disconnect. And yeah, that's terrible. I think I've seen it done to a few people, and yeah, I refuse to let that technician hook me up. Like I'm like, nah, I'm going home, because she wasn't very good. And then towards the end, when they pull you off the machine, like the whole process is trying to clean your blood, take out any excess liquid that you can't process yourself. So there's a risk that they take out too much liquid and they're pretty much sucking you dry, and you get some extreme cramps, and they'll have to put a little bit more liquid into you. So it's just it sucks as well. So I mean, besides the treatment, besides the time spent, it's very draining. You get tired. And for 4 months, about 5 months, I was on dialysis, and I had to work full time because I needed insurance to pay for the dialysis. So I was working retail, these long hours on Saturdays. After I would get my treatment, I would go to work and just be so like drained, tired, but I had to do what I had to do because I needed insurance. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to pay for this treatment, or at least even pay, like have to pay rent and everything as well, and like my life. I had to pay for my life. It was just, and even then, with insurance, the cost of the prescriptions was insane. After I got off, luckily, I'm sorry, I'm over the place, but after 5 months, I got off of dialysis because a kidney came through the line that matched me completely, as if it was my twin. If it was another me out there, that's how good the kidney was. And it has lasted me a good, 18 years already. Now, in the beginning, being able to afford the anti-rejection pills was killer. It was like $1,000 a month, and that's with insurance. It was insane. Eventually, I was able to get generics, and it went about maybe half the price. But even then, it was just too much, including having to go to the hospitals, pay for these medical bills. It just added up so much. And I pretty much spend my whole adult life paying off medical bills. And over time, these pills have become cheaper. It's been about almost 20 years, and now I pay about $80 a month, which is definitely a lot doable. I make a lot more money, and I can maintain. And that's why I've struggled so much financially. I never asked people for help because I know if I'm struggling, I'm sure they're struggling in certain ways that I had to suck it up and do what I had to do. Now, getting back to what I'm feeling today is these headaches. Um, I'm also having trouble sleeping and other symptoms of my kidney failing again, reaching the end state. Like I don't have to worry. It's not gonna fail. Maybe it will. I don't know. But I mean, my headaches are telling me that something is wrong. Me constantly waking up at night, not being able to sleep throughout the night, is telling me that something's wrong. And I have been going to the doctor, my specialist, to get checked up. And yeah, he's been telling me that it's like things are coming to an end eventually. And I think we're at that point where I need to start making plans to get on dialysis again. It's very hard for me to say that because it's like it's like you're realizing that you're gonna have to go back to where you were, where I was. I'm gonna have to struggle again. And it's not just financially or having to go to like to dialysis and do all that. It's what it takes away as well. Don't cry for me, Argentina. uh, now I'm gonna be fine. It's just gonna be difficult for a bit, but the show must go on. My kitties and Charlie Chicken Nuggets need me, so I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I have an appointment next week to see my specialist. Tomorrow I'm gonna take my routine blood, and we're gonna see where my kidney function levels are, and we'll see what we have to do from then on. So, on the bright side, you might get some cool ass close up dialysis videos. Um, on the downside, I probably won't be uploading as much if I'm not, really feeling good. But let's not count our chickens before they hatch. We'll see what happens next week. I really just hope these headaches go away because it really is like I'm popping these Tylenol and I'm pretty much almost taking the max per day. Almost, not quite there. I don't want to mess up my freaking liver too. But yeah, these headaches are gnarly, and hopefully, I mean, I know it. I know my kidney is on the end stage. Like I know that, so I'm just kind of trying to prepare, mentally. Um, and just see, hope for the best. This is just to let everybody know a little bit more insight about, the struggles that I go through. Just in case it's something that you can relate to. You might be going through struggles as well, and it's just kind of hard to talk to people about your medical issues. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be a downer, But sometimes you just gotta get this stuff out. On the plus side, I did buy some few games I want to get into. One is a weird game. I think it's only like about an hour long. Forgot the name. Pantora. I don't know. We'll see. Well, it looks like the Tylenol might have kicked in. My my neck, my head is still kind of stiff, sore, but at least it's not like hurting anymore. So the Tylenol worked. But the sad thing is about 10:30 when I'm recording this. I gotta go work at 2. So uh, I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure my head's gonna start hurting like in 4 hours again. But we'll see. Hopefully, it's like the lack of sleep and just my renegade lifestyle of coffee and cannabis is just catching up to me. I'm gonna cut down on cannabis drastically. Hopefully, it will get me better sleep, get some REM cycle going. I don't know. So I have a week until my appointment. So this week is gonna be a pretty much experimental week. Um, I did take a puff today because I am addicted, but I think that's it for the day. The funny thing is, like after I smoked, even though I can kind of feel my headache a little, after I smoked, I think it kind of like I don't know, made it worse instead of making it better. So I'm gonna quit for a bit. I have like a little bit left, which is great, and we'll see how my sleep goes. I remember when I quit a while back, like a cold turkey. I mean, I was getting some gnarly ass dreams. They were so vivid. It was scary as shit. More like nightmares. So I don't know. God. It's gonna be fun times, y'all. Fun times. So stay tuned. That's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening. Remember, when shit hits the fan, run.